Most people think rich people just have more money. That's not true. They use money completely differently. And that difference? It's why one person stays stuck and the other builds wealth for life. In this video, I'm breaking down the exact ways rich people think about money and, more importantly, how they use it as a tool, not just something to spend. Because once you see this, you can't unsee it. By the end of this video, you'll understand why saving money alone won't make you wealthy, the key difference between spending and investing, and the one shift that turns income into long-term freedom. Let's break it down. Most people treat money like the finish line. Rich people treat money like a tool. Think about it like this. If you had a hammer, would you just hold it all day? Or would you use it to build something? That's the difference. Practical example. Average mindset. I made $5,000. What can I buy? Wealth mindset. I made $5,000. How can this produce more? Rich people ask, how do I turn this into more money? Here's where most people get stuck. They think making more money will solve the problem. But if your behavior doesn't change, more money just means bigger mistakes. Think about professional athletes. Some of them make millions and still end up broke. Why? Because they never learned how to use money. They only learned how to earn it. That's a powerful distinction, because income alone doesn't create wealth. Behavior creates wealth. And rich people understand something most people miss. Money is a multiplier. If you're disciplined, it multiplies progress. If you're careless, it multiplies problems. So the real question isn't, how much money do I make? It's, what do I do with the money I already have? Because if you can't manage $1,000, you won't manage $100,000. And once you shift from consumer thinking to builder thinking, everything changes. And that leads directly into the next level. Poor and middle class spend money on things. Rich spend money on income-producing assets. Example, let's say you get $1,000. Most people, new phone, clothes, quick dopamine hit. Rich people, invest in stocks, start a side business, buy something that pays them back. The key point here is this: assets put money in your pocket. Liabilities take money out. Let's take this one step further. Most people spend money once. Rich people make money work multiple times. Here's what that looks like in real life. Let's say two people get a bonus of $2,000. Person A spends it on a vacation. The experience is great, but the money is gone. Person B uses that same $2,000 to start a small online business. That business generates $200 a month. Now that same $2,000 keeps paying them over and over again. That's the difference. One decision creates a memory, the other creates a system. And here's the part nobody talks about. Rich people still buy nice things. They just don't buy them first. They let their assets pay for their lifestyle. So instead of asking, can I afford this? They ask, can my assets afford this? That single shift changes your entire financial trajectory. Because now your lifestyle is funded by cash flow, not your paycheck. And once you understand that, you stop chasing things and start building income. Which brings us to the next level. A lot of people look rich, but they're actually broke. Rich people focus on cash flow, not appearance. Example, person A drives an $80,000 car, zero investments. Person B drives a $15,000 car, owns assets generating $3,000 per month. Guess who's actually wealthy? Here's the truth most people don't want to hear. Looking rich is expensive. Being rich is strategic. A lot of people are trapped in what I call the visibility trap. They want people to see their success, the car, the clothes, the lifestyle. But rich people focus on something invisible, cash flow. Because cash flow is what gives you options. It gives you time freedom, flexibility, peace of mind. Let me give you a real-world scenario. Imagine losing your job tomorrow. If you rely only on your income, that's a crisis. But if you have cash flow coming in every month, that's an inconvenience. That's the difference. And here's the deeper insight. Rich people delay visibility to build stability. They're willing to look average for a few years to live extraordinary later, while most people do the opposite. They look rich now and struggle later. So the goal isn't to impress people. The goal is to build something that pays you consistently, even when nobody is watching. And that takes patience, which leads to the next principle. Rich people think in decades. Most people think in days. Example, invest $500 per month. After 1 year, small. After 10 years, powerful. After 30 years, life-changing. This is where wealth is built, not overnight, but over time. Most people make emotional money decisions. Rich people follow systems. Example, market drops leads to average person panics. Rich person leads to seize opportunity. Emotion leads to bad decisions. Systems lead to consistency. Let's be honest. Money is emotional. It's tied to fear, security, status, survival. So most people react instead of respond. They spin when they feel good, panic when things drop, avoid decisions when they feel uncertain. But rich people remove emotion from the process. They rely on rules and systems. For example, instead of asking, "Should I invest this month?" they automate it. So the decision is already made. That removes overthinking, fear, hesitation. And here's the key insight. Discipline beats motivation, because motivation changes, but systems don't. So instead of trying to feel ready, rich people create structures that move money automatically. And over time, those small, consistent actions turn into massive results. Which brings us to something even more powerful. Rich people don't just spend money, they recycle it. Example, invest, profit, reinvest, repeat. Money becomes a cycle, not a one-time event. This is where wealth really starts to accelerate. Because now money is no longer linear, it becomes circular. Let me explain. Most people earn money, and the cycle ends when they spend it. Rich people extend the life of every dollar. They ask, how many times can I use this money? Example, they invest in an asset. That asset produces income. They take that income and buy another asset. Now they have 2 income streams, then 4, then 8. This is how wealth compounds, not just through time, but through repetition. And eventually, your money starts working harder than you ever could. That's when things shift. That's when income is no longer tied to effort. And that leads to the final level. If you stop working, does your money stop? For most people, yes. For wealthy people, no. Because they build systems. Investments, businesses, automation. So whether they're working, sleeping, or on vacation, money is still moving. That's the goal. Not just to make money, but to build something that makes money without you. Because that's what creates freedom, flexibility, and control over your time. And once you understand that, you stop asking, how can I make more money? And start asking, how can I build something that makes money for me? And that question alone can change your entire financial future. Here's the truth. It's not about how much money you make. It's about how you use it. You can earn 6 figures and still stay broke, or earn less and build real wealth. The difference? Behavior, strategy, mindset. If this video changed how you see money, subscribe to the channel. Because on this channel, we don't just talk about money. We talk about how to shift your money mindset in order to achieve financial freedom. This is Keith's Money Mindset, where we build assets, break cycles, create freedom, and I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.